Well, good morning, guys. It's a cold morning in Oklahoma. I think it's probably about 25 degrees right now. Had a little cold front come through, and it's been pretty cold the last couple days here in Oklahoma. But anyways, I had a request for an update on the high tunnel the other day, and I thought I'd film that today. Before I go in, though, I do want to show you out here in my garden. So the deer have been really hammering my cover crop on my garden, but I want to show you something. So usually, typically in Oklahoma, we will get down pretty cold, single digits, sometimes get around 0 for a while in the wintertime, but it's usually late winter, like mid-January, February time frame. But we had a big cold front come through in December, about mid-December, and got down in the single digits. And out here in the garden, usually in our food plots, which is basically all this was just like a food plot for my deer. And so there's a lot of things like oats and wheat and ryegrass and turnips. Turnips are a big thing around here. People plant for the deer, and they'll usually survive most of the way through the winter without getting frozen out. But I'll show you just how cold it got here. These turnips are dead. It killed the turnips, and they're a super hardy crop usually. So I'll show you real quick. So here's a little better view of my cover crop in my garden. Okay, so all the dead, so there's obviously leaves blown in out here, but before, you know, there were turnips and greens that were 6-8 inches tall out here. But here's an example of one of these turnips right here. See, that's a purple top turnip, and it's just dead. Usually those will survive most of the winter here in Oklahoma. Okay, so let's walk in here in the high tunnel. That gives you an idea of just how cold we got. Okay, I say all that to say this. This is an unheated high tunnel, okay? So it's not a heated greenhouse or anything like that. I was hoping I could get a lot of these cool season crops all the way through the winter, at least up until late January, early February, when I get ready to start, you know, planning for my spring garden. Single digit temperatures, oh my gosh, that's so cold, man. There's a lot of things that I thought would survive in the high tunnel that died out a lot earlier than I thought. So mid-January, super hard freeze, couple days in single digits. Did a lot of damage in here, okay? So it's not the best looking high tunnel. It's a lot warmer in here than it is outside. Get out that wind, it's nice. Outside, it's about 25 degrees. In here, 40-ish probably. Overcast day, it's not sunny, but it's still about 40 degrees. So let me show you around in here real quick. Sidewall, that stuff was here from the spring. I planted that in like April, wiped it out. Collard greens, some of them are somewhat alive, but they're gonna come out. There's one collard green plant survived. What I had left was some beets, pretty much knocked them out, but there's still some green trying to come back. Killed most of them, but some of them survived. They're just not really gonna make much. Bok choy, it was getting pretty picked over. We've been eating some of it, but pretty much killed it. What it didn't kill, I mean, there's a few that are, you know, coming back, but they're just mush. Okay, Swiss chard down here, gone. I mean, it disintegrated the Swiss chard. Now, spinach, I am happy about this. The spinach survived. Doesn't look the best. Some of it got a little burnt, but it's alive. Those watermelon radishes, we've eaten a bunch of those, give a bunch of friends. There's still some there. They survived it. They have some soft spots, so the ones that are still here that we have eaten since that hard freeze kind of have some soft spots. Yeah, this is bad. My snap beans, snap peas, sugar snap peas, English peas, whatever you want to call them. Usually a really cold hardy crop. Nah, not in the single digits for 2 days. It wiped them out. And this was something that just made me sick. What happened to my broccoli? Now, broccolis are usually a pretty cold hardy plant. Oh my gosh. You know, that just makes me sick. That was a huge head of broccoli that I showed you guys a while back. Trashed. It just trashed this broccoli. Now, here's a success. Carrots, my carrot bed that I modeled after Danny from Deep South Homestead. They're a little thick, they need to be thinned, but Houston's been out here eating some carrots lately. They're not huge yet, but looky here. Carrots have survived. They're really good and they're really sweet. But that bed of carrots, man, it's just full. And those single digit temperatures didn't bother the carrots one bit. They just kept right on trucking. Now they're growing slow, but they're still alive. Now this bed of kale, oh my gosh, it's so good. The freeze kind of nipped on some of it. You can see some of the leaves are a little brown, but man, those low temperatures, those freezing temperatures have made that stuff right there so sweet. I've been juicing a lot of it, and man, it's delicious. There's a little bit of lettuce that I tried to grow. It never made it big enough before it got too cold. Mustard greens pretty much got hammered. Now this is, I mean, come on guys, I've just been lazy and hadn't cleaned up from my last attempt at planting some late seed. But I want to show you something. This is spinach. This spinach hasn't been watered, period, at all in over a month. Still alive. It's not doing great, but you believe that? Still alive. So there's what's happening in the high tunnel. Got a lot of work to do in here. About all that I've got left that I can use. That row of spinach, a few watermelon radishes. Carrot bed doing great. Kale doing great. Tastes delicious. So yeah, there's where I stand. Not a lot of success going on in here right now, but I've said this since the beginning. This is my first year of trying to grow in a high tunnel. I really am just kind of learning and experimenting along the way, and there's been some successes and there's been some failures, but hey, you know, anything that makes it through the winter time, as long as you're getting something out of here, I mean, that's better than nothing. That's more than what I got last year. So I don't know. Seems like the raised beds are doing really well. It may just be those crops specifically, but the raised beds seem like everything's surviving in there a little better. I mean, that's kale doing great, planted up against the wall in the raised bed. This over here is kale that wasn't planted in a raised bed. Now it's two different kinds of kale, but still, it's kale. Why did this one just get hammered by the frost and freeze, and this one over here thrive? The only difference that, you know, different variety, one's in a raised bed and one's not. That raised bed may just be the ticket. So I don't know. I'll probably be building some more raised beds in here pretty soon. I want to grow a lot more in those raised beds this spring, so I got to get on that because it's January. And anyways, so there's a little tour of the high tunnel. That's what's going on in here right now. I don't know. We're learning process. It's fun. It's nice to come out here and work when it's 25 degrees outside and about 40, 45 in here, out of the wind. You know, it's enjoyable. It's a good way to still have this pleasure of working in a garden in the wintertime, and when it's cold, it's a nice place to be. So I don't know, I like it, I enjoy it. High tunnel's great. If you've never looked into one, I would highly recommend it. Maybe you're a better gardener than me and have a little more success in the wintertime, but hey, whatever. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. You know, channel's growing. It's slow growth, but hey, we're growing, and you know, welcome to all the new subscribers that have come on in the last month or two. I do appreciate your time you take to watch my videos, and hey, you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.